Someone commented in my video the other day and said, "Hey man, you just like everything Trump does." I said, "Well, yeah, that's kind of how hating works, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't see myself as a true lifelong hater, a born hater per se. But when it comes to this guy, and I think most people will agree with me, is because I recognize that no matter what this man is doing, no matter who it's benefiting, at the end of the day, it's always about Trump. It's always about Trump getting the best out of everything, right? And I say that to say in my last video when I was talking about Zelensky, Trump, and Vance, and when they tried to look like worldwide bullies, goddamn death row type thing. Most people didn't watch the video, right? So they just looked at it as, oh, he's sticking up for America. He wants peace. And at the end of the day, if you watch the full video, you know that Zelensky had to stand up for himself because he's got to go back. And, he's the one that's leading people on the front lines, right? And he's got to talk to his people. So when you've got Trump over here speaking, saying he's got to say nice things about Putin, Zelensky has to push back and say, hey, dog, this is the same guy that has unalived millions of our people. He's the same guy that broke ceasefire agreements that included you, right? So he's got to say that. But here's the crux of this whole thing, right? Just maybe, if there's like speculation going around that you've got a Russian secret intelligence name as Krasnov, that we shouldn't be find out that after you stage what looked like a middle school argument, right, with the leader of Ukraine, we shouldn't be finding out that a Russian state media reporter had gained entry to the Oval Office. That probably doesn't look good, right? Because then at the end of the day, we start putting two together. Like I said in my first point, it always comes down to Trump. Maybe you do owe Vladdy Big Daddy V some favors. Maybe that is your man's, and at the end of the day, you know what? You don't really care about American peace. You don't care about Ukrainian peace. You just care about you and your relationship with Vladimir Putin, right? A member of Russia's state-owned news agency gained access to the Oval Office on Friday to cover President Trump's sit-down with Ukrainian President Zelensky, even as the AP and Reuters were barred from the high-level meeting. So you're banning the AP because they won't, I guess, call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. But meanwhile, you've got state-controlled media in the White House observing this whole thing. So in my opinion, now I think that you did that just so it can be broadcasted to Big Daddy V, because that's who you owe favors, right? Then, right, I've got to get journalistic integrity, even though I'm not a journalist. I've got to let you know that the gaffe comes 3 days after the White House announced it would rest the choice of pool reporters from the White House Correspondents Association. See, they're saying, oh, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Okay. So the one time where you're making changes, you're doing a sort of musical chairs with the reporters, a Russian state-owned agency happened to make it in. And they just happened to make it in during your argument with Zelensky. Come on, dog. So, yeah.